Another fall vanilla video? Yes, please. I'm bringing you some intoxicating vanilla scents that will be great companions in colder weather. Nothing is very new, as we don't need to buy the latest and greatest to smell good. Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Diana and I am a fragrance enthusiast who has been collecting fragrances over the last 5 years. Here on this channel, we talk about all fragrances. It doesn't matter if it's niche, designer or Middle Eastern. The ultimate goal is just to smell good and feel good. So today I'm bringing you 7 niche vanillas that I recommend for the colder months. Right after this video I will also film the designer version of it, and I think I will plan to post it later this week. At the end of this video I will also have 2 honorable mentions, and they will be rather honorable mentions because those fragrances are only available in Europe for purchase, but they are also fantastic. So I wanted to include them in this video. I think how I'm going to do this is that I will start with the easier going perfumes, and I will slowly transition into the more niche, a little bit more spicy vanillas. So the first perfume, and basically the easiest going perfume that I'm bringing to you today, is gonna be Sweet Vanilla from Montale. And basically there are only 2 notes listed on Fragrantica, vanilla and apricots. However, I do believe that there is more to this perfume. It is very sweet, very powdery, fruity, creamy, slightly lactonic. It is also very edible, a real gourmand scent. It really smells like a vanilla cake with fruits, of course, apricots on top. I find this very easy to wear because it is just simply pleasant and sweet. It is very crowd-pleasing and very likable. For me, this is a gourmand that doesn't really disturb me. It is edible, but due to the fruitiness, I don't feel that I smell like a bakery shop. Montale's fragrances often get the complaints that their fragrances are synthetic and screechy. This one, yeah, it is a bit synthetic, but I think the vanilla here is very creamy and I do not really pick up any screechiness. So I highly recommend to check out Sweet Vanilla. So let's move on to something similar, but much more photorealistic. It is Accident à la Vanille, Madeleine de Proust. I have no idea how to pronounce it, by the way. So this one also smells like peach or apricot pastry, and it has the notes of peach, apricots, coconut, vanilla, butter and biscuits. If you compare it with Sweet Vanilla, then this one is much more photorealistic. It is much more pungent. It basically punches you into the face. Also, I have to say that this one smells a little bit more synthetic, and you really have to be able to handle that kind of vanilla that makes your nose itchy, like Vanilla 28. I wore this fragrance a few times, but honestly mainly at home. I don't think that it is really suitable for any formal occasions. Other than that, if you enjoy real photorealistic gourmand fragrances, then try to get your nose on this one. As far as I know, Accident à la Vanille has multiple flankers as well, so there is an original one. Then they have a creme de la berry version, which is also very much loved. That one, if I'm not mistaken, smells like strawberry cheesecake. So I guess you can pick the fruit of your preference and just go with that flanker. So this was Accident à la Vanille, Madeleine de Proust. The next one is a very likable, not too heavy, very wearable vanilla, which is Vanilla Haze from Fugazzi. And it has quite some gourmand notes like vanilla, caramel, hazelnut and coconut milk, but they are made in a very airy and easy to wear way. I believe it has also some kind of white flowers in it, and the musk also elevates the perfume and doesn't really let it to be too gourmand. It is very creamy, slightly lactonic. It is strong, but due to that muskiness, I don't really think that this is a vanilla that chokes out others around you. I think those others will rather think that, wow, you smell expensive, you smell elevated, you smell rich. I know that there is an extrait version of it as well. That is supposed to be a bit thicker, darker, but I haven't managed to try that one yet. But this is very beautiful and I highly recommend to check it out. So this was Vanilla Haze. Another very elevated but still easygoing vanilla is Vanilla Éclat from Navitus, which was made in collaboration with Christine from the Perfume Nest. It is a very woody, creamy, lactonic vanilla, which is ideal for those ones who really don't like foody vanillas. This one doesn't really have a gourmand touch. This one is just basically calmness and coziness in a bottle. It also features a rice note, which is blended into some buttermilk, caramel and sandalwood with a slightly hint of spices. It is lactonic and very creamy, but not in a gourmand way. Again, it is not too much, not nauseating at all. It is just a real mood booster kind of fragrance. When I got it last year, it was a little bit on the lighter side with about 3-4 hours of longevity. But I'm happy to report it that this one definitely became stronger. The vanilla and the sandalwood are much more prominent, and now the entire scent is just a bit more present. So basically this was Vanilla Éclat, and I'm very excited to start wearing it again. So now we are really transitioning into the more niche category. If you want to have a dark, creamy, woody caramel vanilla, then you should really try Van Exstatyx from Lorenzo Pazzaglia. It features 7 types of vanillas, 7 different types of vanillas. And it also combines them with dripping caramel, tonka bean and oud. It is supposed to have some kind of white flowers, but to be honest, I do not really pick up any of it. The caramel and the tonka bean, maybe together with the oud, are really reminding me to a kind of deep, dark cappuccino scent, but I would not call this perfume as a typical coffee vanilla scent. But it simply reminds me to like a rich, dark, golden brown liquid. It is also super sweet, has a very strong projection and very strong sillage. I typically crave these type of scents when it is very cold outside, and I would not wear it, for example, to the office or in settings where people will get quite close to you. So this was Van Exstatyx. So one of my most challenging vanillas, but also one of my most beautiful fragrances in my collection is Vanillary from Lush. The note breakdown is quite simple. It says that it has vanilla, tonka beans and jasmine, but the blend is just really perfection. It is one of my real absolute beast fragrances. The jasmine note is quite strong and you really have to like how Lush does jasmines, as it is a slightly bit dusty, indolic, but don't be too scared because the vanilla and tonka bean don't let it go too far. It is very syrupy, very thick, lactonic and also slightly powdery. It is definitely not for the faint of heart. Only wear 1 or 2 sprays and you will be good for the upcoming 5 to 6 hours, at least. And if you have some other Lush fragrances, then this one can be layered with them perfectly. For example, it can go with American cream, also with turmeric latte, or even with No Way to Say Goodbye. Or one more, if you are really out there, then add 1 spray of Lust to the mix. but we will talk about Lust in another video soon. So this was Vanillary. Lastly, I needed something spicy for this video. And what else would I bring than a fresh, spicy, citrusy vanilla scent? I think you might have already guessed. Yes, it is Honey from Nishane. It has the notes of bergamot, ginger, a lot of cardamom, Turkish rose, sandalwood, patchouli, and of course even more vanilla. It is very expensive smelling, very elevated, and very modern. It is, for me, perfectly unisex. However, the green notes and the cardamom may come across a bit more masculine upon first spray. Don't worry about it, just wait a few moments and they will calm down a little bit, and the dry down is perfectly in the middle. It is also very strong, projecting like 10 to 12 hours from the skin. It is typically a perfume that you want to wear when you know that you will be on your way and you will be mostly outside the entire day. Or it is also suitable for very special occasions when you want to make an impression with your fragrance. So this was Honey. I don't have to say, but preparing this video already made me very excited to start wearing these vanillas for fall. However, I will go to a vacation very soon, so likely I will still dab into some summer fragrances during October. So yeah, you will see it most probably in the October roundup very soon. But we are not done yet. I promised 2 honorable mentions that are available in Europe for purchase. Both are from Hungarian houses. The first one is Euphoria from Nichery Fragrances, which is basically a citrus vanilla gourmand. By the way, this is still the old packaging. In the meantime, they really managed to upgrade their bottles and they look a little bit more luxurious and more distinct. But this fragrance, so basically this is in the same realm as Lyra or Love and Crime. I tested side by side all 3 of them, and I have to say that I enjoy the citrus in this one the most. It is not too sharp, and the vanilla with some very slight flower touches is very nicely done. Also, the citrus doesn't really fade away super fast. It stays quite long on the skin. The vanilla is made very warm, very creamy. It may have a tiny bit of muskiness, but not as musky as, for example, Lyra, and the longevity is also better. If you are from Europe, it is worth to check it out, especially that the price point is also quite affordable for a niche brand. They are priced around 100 euros per 50 ml, which is almost a designer pricing already. So this was Euphoria. The last fragrance, and basically the last honorable mention, is Apollo from Babilone Perfumes, which is described as a powdery, creamy vanilla with a lot of musks. It is gourmand. Some people say that it is a little bit like a cupcakey vanilla scent, but to my nose there is something smoky, maybe slightly incensey in it. Maybe it's because the vanilla reminds me to the vanilla in Rifakat, very sweet, slightly ambery and smoky. It is definitely not a pastry shop like vanilla. I think it has more dimensions and a bit more character. The longevity is only moderate. I believe with the time, as all vanillas, this one also should become a bit stronger. By the way, I really like that this brand is creating basically their perfumes around mythology, and also their bottles are quite simple, but still with this marble-like, by the way it's plastic, marble-like top. They really look fancy on the vanity. So if you have access to it, then maybe check out this house and try out Apollo. So I guess this was it for today. Have you tried any of these fragrances? What are your vanilla recommendations for the fall? By the way, if you're interested in more fall fragrance recommendations from me, then I'm going to insert a video at the end of this one. Please, if you have time, then click on it and stay with me and explore a little bit more niche recommendations for the transition from summer to fall. And until the next time, bye bye.